What kind of advice, Petrina, for someone who makes a lot of video on vehicles, what kind of advice can you give them about creating a good, educating, and entertaining walk around?
I think the key is the person. I think that's very, very important. And also showing diversity. I will be honest, sometimes I get very frustrated with seeing that typical person, an older white male in that role. I would love to see more women doing that, more, different diverse backgrounds so that you're inclusive and that you're actually connecting with different groups of people. You're not just targeting a gearhead. You're explaining things in a simple, informative way. You don't need to get into all the gearhead technology in a vehicle, because chances are, if someone's shopping for that car and their gearhead, they've already looked up all that information. But I think it's really important to keep it simple, keep it entertaining and fun, and really, if you can bring new faces to do those walkarounds, I think you have a better chance. This right now is a huge opportunity to tap into that female market. And we know that, more than 80% of all car buying decisions are done by women. And they're very important. I've always felt that they've sort of been neglected in the car shopping process. And I'll be honest, I've had horrible experiences in the past buying cars at a dealership. But I've overcome that and bought a new car right before this pandemic, of course. And it was
Oh,
a
you
very
did?
pleasant
Oh, please tell. I
experience,
want to know.
unfortunately. uh, but, I always found it very difficult to walk in as a woman or going in to see the mechanic as a woman. I always felt that there were stereotypes, even given the fact of what I do. So I think doing this online, this is a huge, huge opportunity to connect with that female buyer. And if you even have a woman that's bringing out that information to another woman, I think that they are more responsive to it. Even when I do automotive reports, it's interesting. When I started out doing the national morning show, Canada AM, like 15 years ago, it was actually a man that used to do that, the segment. It was automotive reporting. He was an older white gentleman that used to do it. And he was a gearhead. So he would go on and he would talk and he would say all these stats. Well, the women that were largely watching the show weren't interested. So when I came on and I did it, and I didn't focus on the technology, I focused on the space in the cargo area, other areas, the cup holders, the seats, the flexibility of the vehicle. I talked about other things. And from the first time I did it, they were like, we want you. My producer actually said, we want you to do this on a regular basis, because
Because you're
the women
connecting.
that are watching want to hear from a woman in a very simple matter of fact.